Hi people, welcome back for another update on the Sea REEFER 250. This is 15 months from the start. So since my last update, everything's been running smoothly. I have added in a new fish, reluctantly, because everything is so calm in this tank. And obviously, you know, if you've been following my videos, you know about the dramas I had with the introduction of another tank to this system, the yellow eye coal tank, and the explosion of white spot, which I've dealt with now, and everything's returned back to normal and no white spot whatsoever. I was a bit hesitant to put in another fish, but I have done it. Took the plunge. I've always wanted one of these wrasses. It's the peacock wrasse. It's at the front there, just down the bottom left. I'll get the camera off the tripod in a minute and zoom in. But when I put him in, I know they're known for going into the sand for a day or two, but this thing went straight in the sand. I didn't see it for 5 days. 5 days in the sand. Saying to my kids and my wife, so it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Well, it's got to come out to feed. So I was thinking maybe, you know, he would have gone in the sand. That was it. The last I saw of him. But no, 5 days he appeared. And he settled in really well. My fears were that my mimic tank, the boss of the tank, would not have any of it and maybe chase it around, bully it or whatever. But there's been no aggression really towards it. Obviously, initially, the first hour or two, sort of a little bit of a chase, but they seem to get on fine. The main thing with these peacock wrasses is getting them feeding, and he's feeding really well as well. Anyway, moving on to the tank. I don't know if you can see straight off the bat, growth-wise on the corals, SPS corals, or all corals really, got a nice spurt of growth with everything from the last update to this one. Everything's growing nicely. Some corals are growing better than others, but that's to be expected really. You can never keep all of them happy, 100% happy, obviously due to different positions in the tank, flow, light, nutrition, whatever. Now obviously introducing this new fish, to get it feeding, obviously I was bounding in loads of different types of food just to get it, really interested in food, especially being in the sand for 5 days. I thought I'd just try it with everything: brine shrimp, flake, algae rings, what I've got. I tried. I was just dumping it all in the tank. I don't want him starving and losing him that way, sort of thing. Sort of just give him the best start by chucking loads of food in, which is what I did. And obviously the detrimental effect of that, of chucking loads of food in, obviously the other fish loved it. They thought, God Christ, this is great. Our food intake's gone mad. The detrimental effect of putting more food in is obviously the end result. Filtration system goes under strain, and as good as this filtration system is, always, like I said in my last update, 0 nitrates, 0 phosphates, and I tested a week after the wrasse going in and after all that feeding, and I managed to get a nitrate reading of 2.5 parts per million. It is possible to get that nitrate reading. You've just got to get that good balance. If you've got too high nitrates, it means there's too much bio load and there's too much food going into the tank. Simple. I'm not running bio pellets to reduce nitrate. My water changes, I've reduced them down, sort of once a week, doing 17%. Now I've returned the feeding back to normal, so my nitrate should return back to sort of 0 or undetectable. But having said that, I do want to get a nitrate reading of sort of 1 part per million, just so there's a little bit of nutrition in the water to supply the corals with some nutrition. And they seem to they colour up better when there's a little bit of nitrate in the water. I've noticed there's the nitrate level of 2.5 for the past week. And they're definitely coloured up a bit nicer. Right, so let's get this camera off the tripod. I'll just quickly run through my parameters. If you was wondering what parameters, I do this every update just so everybody knows, so I don't get any questions: what are you running this at, what are you running that at. So let's start from the top. Temperature 26 degrees, and my salt I'm running at 35 parts per thousand, which is 1.026. Running lights on for about 12-hour period, loads of flow. My water parameters are alkalinity between 8 and 9, my calcium between 470 and 500, magnesium between 1400 and 1500. Like I say, nitrates we're talking about between 0 and 2.5, phosphates undetectable. I think that covers all what I'm testing for anyway. Now obviously there's trace elements in the system, which is why I've been doing so many water changes, just to keep them elements up. I have decided to go down the road of Red Sea Coral Care Programme, the A, B, C and D, the colour programme, which supplies all the other elements into the makeup of the water. I'm also going to be using the Reef Energy, Red Sea's Reef Energy A and B, which I've used all these products before with quite good results. I'm going to try them again this the second time. I'm going to do the trial packs through them, and if the system, because now it's mature and everything's stabilising out and levelling out nicely, if I get good results, I'm going to stick with the Red Sea Care Programme. I'm obviously using Red Sea's A, B and C, alkalinity, calcium and magnesium in a powder form into the dosing containers and through a dosing system by TMC, which I'll go into some later on in the video. I've got to be quick, so I've got about 14 minutes or so left on this video. Let's just take the camera off the tripod so you can see everything closely in the tank. So starting off in the middle, purple Stylophora, it's doing great, nice colour. Quite slow growing, probably the slowest growing out of them all, but I think it's probably because the size of the branches are so thick. Now this green barley slimer is probably the most notable one for growth. It's just got multiple sprouts coming out of each branch now as well. Doing really good. My green Hystrix in the middle. So I'm going to turn the wave machines off so we don't get the rippling effect in the water so much whilst we're zooming on everything. Okay. So focus and autofocus, yeah. Okay, so yeah, purple Stylophora, barley slimer at Crow, green Hystrix ceratopora. This thing is probably one of the biggest colonies. It's massive, growing out new branches all the time. These other Hystrix, the pink Hystrix, that's my original colony that I bought, is all bounced back nicely. It's even got this like pale GSP growing in the middle of it, but it doesn't seem to be bothered by it. It doesn't sting it at all. Now give me, where's my food? These other two examples, this one here, this just grown nicely. This one, and there's one at the back there. Zoas spreading nicely on the back wall. Yes, we got plating Montipora. Try and get a top-down view. There we go. It's really scrolling out and plating out nicely. There's my leopard wrasse, or peacock wrasse, right in the centre. There we go. Settled in really good. I haven't fed yet today, so they're all eager to feed. But yeah, he settled in really well, this fish. Had I known that they'd settled in really, there's a big group of these, about 6 or 7 of them at my store in Hawkhurst, All Things Aquatic, Hawkhurst. Yeah, I wish I'd got a trio of these, because apparently they get on really well as a trio. They do really well as a trio, hunting and stay together. So I wish I'd got 3, but we'll see, maybe in the future. I'm glad he's settling well and he's feeding. That's the main thing with these fish, is getting them to feed. They're such a finicky feeder. There's lots of copepods, anthropods and stuff in this system because it's nice and mature, which he does sort of find, but you put brine shrimp in here or flake, he just gobbles it all up. So that's great. Go back to corals again. It's my cleaner shrimp. Had him for about a year and a half. Maybe a bit longer actually. Nearly 2 years, this cleaner shrimp. I don't know how long they live, probably 2 or 3 years. It'd be a shame when he goes because he's been a great addition, he has. Yeah, another bit of pink hystrix there from the original colony, that's doing nicely. There's my tricolour Possilopora, which I rescued from a friend of mine's tank, which was really tiny. It's really grown up big, nice now. Montipora Elkhorn, as always, doing really nice. And at the back here, this Montipora digitata green, that's really growing. Got to be careful with this green GSP on the back wall there. I might have that off there actually, because I don't want it invading and spreading down to the main display of rock. Pulse coral is sort of occupying this whole corner. I keep pulling it out. What I'm going to do is probably get into the new year now, Christmas time, New Year, and then in the new year I'll probably start fragging all this lot. Hopefully it's of a nice size where I can start fragging everything off and selling off some frags at some nice cheap prices. So if anyone's interested, lives close to me, there'll be lots of these frags from this tank, from these main big colonies available. Pole score I'll pull out every couple of weeks, loads of it. 2 clowns are hungry usually. The only reason they come out of that pole squirrel is when they're looking for the food. They're doing great. Quick shot down this side. Would love to do a new build, a new tank. Obviously a lot bigger, like the Red Sea REEFER 525 would be great. It's just cost really. You know what these reef systems cost if you do them properly. Anyway, you buy the right equipment. So yeah, it's one of those things that is on the cards over the next couple of years. It's just affording it. I must clean this sump as well. Although to a lot of you might say, look, might think it's very clean, but to me it needs cleaning out and sorting out. Really, so I like to keep it all nice and pristine. Everything's doing good. Yeah, new tank. I'd love to do a nice new build. Obviously transfer all the livestock from this one into the new one. Obviously have a lot larger selection of fish in the new one, big tanks, etc. But we'll see. So it's just cost. And now what I'm going to do is, so people know they're new to this hobby, what they're getting into and whatnot. It is an expensive hobby, and what I'm going to do, I always get questions of how much would you change anything, or how much did this cost, etc, etc. I'm going to run through top to bottom all the equipment, how much it costs, etc on this tank from the very start. I'll probably do that in the next update actually. So yeah, I best feed these fish. See, it's all the wave machines are on pause. Let's put the camera back on the tripod. Okay, Let's just go get some food quickly. Just going to put some brine shrimp. Watch that peacock wrasse. There he goes. Boom. Feeding lovely. If you're wondering why the sand's all mounded up, all this sort of bare bottom area here is because I've angled the weighing machine so it kicks it back, so I don't have to deal with the diatoms every day. It seems to be working actually. Because the diatoms, it's some around that corner, but nowhere near like it was. It used to be every day or every couple of days I've had to go through the sand because the amount of diatoms in the bottom. I was getting a little bit of cyanide, red cyanide bacteria as well growing on the sand. It seems to have cured that by angling all the flow, the weighing machines down to the sand bed. So it's just an experiment at the moment to see how it goes, but keeping this section here all clear of sand, I think it's just it acts as like a nutrient sink otherwise. And obviously with the light as well, the diatoms and red cyanide can grow. I think in a new tank that I do, or a new system build I do, I'll probably go bare bottom. Okay, I'm going to wrap the video up now, folks. Thanks for watching. Any questions, chuck them in the box below. So we're probably going to do another update or another video early next week on the costing of this system from start to finish, or what everything costs. So if anyone's starting up, want to start up a reef tank like this, or medium-sized reef tank like this, you've got an idea of how much it would all cost. Thanks for watching, folks. See you in the next one. Cheers.